You ever feel like you're in a total mismatch in the housing market? You've got your financing all lined up, you're good to go, but you just keep losing out to those all-cash offers. Well, we're going to dive into a program that's designed to completely level that playing field and turn you into that cash buyer everyone's hoping for.
All right, so picture this. You've been looking for, well, it feels like forever. You've scrolled through a million photos, you've walked through so many houses, and then you see it, the one. It's got the yard, it's in the right spot, it's just perfect.
So you put in your best offer, you've got your pre-approval letter, you feel good about it. But in this market, that's just not always enough. And then you get that call, the one you've been dreading. The seller went with an all-cash offer instead. It's an absolutely frustrating story, and it happens all the time.
So what do? I mean, that's the big question, right? When you're up against people who can just swoop in with cash, no strings attached, how do you even compete? How do you actually get the keys to that house? Well, that's exactly what we're about to break down.
First things first, let's really get a handle on the problem. Just how big of an advantage are we talking about here? I think the numbers are probably going to surprise you.
I mean, just think about this. In a normal market, 27%, that's more than 1 out of every 4 homes sold in the entire country, goes to a cash buyer. So you're not just up against 1 or 2 people, you're up against a huge slice of the market.
And here's the real kicker. For a seller, cash isn't just about the money, it's about certainty. Right? There's no worrying about a loan falling through at the last minute, no appraisal issues, nothing. That peace of mind is gold, and sellers are absolutely willing to take less money to get it.
So how much less are we talking about? Well, studies have shown sellers might accept an offer that's up to 12% lower if it's cash. On a $500,000 house, that's a $60,000 difference. That's the kind of power that cash brings to the table.
Okay, so unless you've got a few $100,000 just sitting in a checking account, what are you supposed to do? Are you just out of the game? Well, not exactly. Let's dig into a program built to fix this exact problem. The idea behind it is actually pretty simple. A company, in this case it's New American Funding, basically steps in and uses their cash to buy the house for you. And just like that, your financed offer transforms into a powerful, non-contingent, all-cash offer that jumps right to the top of the pile.
All right, it sounds great in theory, but how does this thing actually work? What are the real steps from start to finish? Let's walk through the whole thing so you can see exactly how it plays out.
The entire process is broken down into these 5 clear phases. And don't worry, we'll hit everyone. That last phase, the buyback, is really the key. That's when you get your own mortgage and you actually buy the house back from them.
Okay, phase 1 is all about getting the green light. The basic requirements are pretty straightforward. You need at least a 620 credit score, and you've got to put down some earnest money. Now, if you're also selling a house, you need to have about 30% equity in it. But, and this is a really clever part, if you don't have the equity, they have this thing called stacked assets. It just means you can use things like your 401k or stocks to fill the gap. And you don't even have to sell them, you just have to show that you have them.
Next up, phase 2, making the offer. And the cool thing is, you're not going it alone here. The program gives you a transaction coordinator who works directly with your realtor. They help get that all-cash offer submitted, and it comes with proof of funds showing the seller that the money is ready to go right now.
Phase 3 is where the speed really kicks in. NAF Cash comes in and buys the home with their money. They handle those initial closing costs, and they can close in as little as 12 days, which is incredibly fast. At this point, the only thing you've paid for out of pocket is your home inspection.
Okay. This next part is super important to understand. So once NAF Cash owns the house, you get to move in, but you're basically renting it from them for a short time. Now, for the first 60 days, you don't actually write a rent check, but the rent is adding up every single day in the background. Then, on day 61, the bill for those first 60 days comes due. After that, to kind of nudge you along to the finish line, the rent goes up by 10% each month.
So as you can probably guess, all this power and convenience doesn't come for free. So let's be totally transparent and break down exactly what the fees are and how the program is paid for.
The main cost you're going to have is a one-time transaction fee. It's just a percentage of whatever price NAF paid in cash for the home. Now, a key thing to know is that this percentage isn't the same everywhere. It actually changes depending on what state you're buying in.
Let's make it super simple with an example. Say you're in Louisiana where the fee is 1.5%. If NAF buys a house for you for $100,000, they'll add their $1,500 fee right on top. So when you go to do your final buyback, your mortgage will be for $101,500. Pretty straightforward.
And of course, just remember, on top of that main transaction fee, you've also got that daily rent that was adding up. Plus, you'll have your own standard closing costs when you get your final mortgage to buy the home back.
So you're probably looking at these fees and asking yourself, why would I pay that? And for a whole lot of people, the answer is simple. It solves the single most stressful part of moving, which is trying to buy one house and sell another at the exact same time.
I mean, just look at the difference. The old way is just chaos, right? You're trying to live your life while keeping your house perfectly clean for strangers to walk through, all while desperately trying to find a new place. Now look at the right side. It completely flips the script. You find your dream home first. You move in, and then you sell your old house when it's empty and easy to show. No stress.
And that right there is the whole point. This quote really says it all. It's a game changer. It lets you skip the single biggest headache in real estate, that crazy, stressful timeline, and do things in an order that actually makes sense.
So when it all comes down to it, it's a trade-off. This program gives you the incredible power of a cash offer, and it gets rid of the logistical nightmare of buying and selling at the same time. In exchange for that, there's a fee. So the real question you have to ask yourself is a personal one. For your life, for your situation, is that game-changing convenience worth the cost?